Welcome, everybody, to episode number 24. You know what time it is.
Yes, good
You
evening, everybody.
know what time it is. It's Willie Mays time. Well, not only Willie Mays, but episode number 24 means we're going to celebrate all players who wore 24. And so we brought on two guests tonight that are going to provide a variety, which we'll bring on shortly. But Jason, how are you doing, buddy?
Very good, my friend. I'm excited to do this. You do a thumbnail, so a lot of people know who the guests are. I'm pumped to have these guys on.
I guess it's kind of a given at this point.
Yeah.
People look. But I don't know. Does anybody really look at a thumbnail these days?
I kind of look at them. I still like if I like them, I give them a like, even the thumbnail. I don't know if that even does anything, but hey, you support where you can.
Let me see who's here. We have Pastor Craig. It was first. So I think that's a first, actually. Usually Andrew gets here, but
he's retired now, so he's got lots of time on his hands.
He does. Johnny D coming in with the baseball emoji. Perfect. There's Andrew. Good evening, buddy. Peacemaker. He's usually number 4 in the list coming down. So thank you, Peacemaker, for Jacob Dahl. He's usually up there as well. Jim is here. Let's see. Oh, Cardcast. Yes. Lenny is here. Lenny's been he's been grinding out videos lately, which are really entertaining to watch. Peter B, Keith. I'm going over repeats. Jeff Eklund is here.
Nice.
Jeremy Heyman is here. What's up, buddy? Good to see you again. Ruben wants to see some Griffey Juniors. Ricky for a little bit. Bonds, I'm sure we're gonna get them. Beat Up Cards is here. Great name. Matt from the Card Stories here. I'm waiting for episode number 44 for him. Chris from Missouri is here.
Ah, Jesus, he's here. Shut it down.
I know. He's your nemesis. My wife says I'm a solid 4. Perfect. And of course, we'll talk about nemesis. Rick's nemesis is here. And finally, Carlisle. People keep chiming in. Send in the clowns, Alex here, and Warren D. Let's bring in our guests. Although one of our guests stepped away, but we're going to bring in an empty room. First, we're going to bring in Rick from Vintage Oddball Cards.
Hey, guys.
An empty room of Dylan, which he will eventually come back.
There we go.
He's unpredictable.
Cheers,
that's beautiful stuff. Good beer, Rick. Good beer. I went really expensive too, as usual. Yeah. I think Mangini was showing one of his. I think it's the 1930 Blue Ribbon malts. So in honor of him showing that, it's somewhat tied to this beer. So I'll just drink this beer.
How's it going, guys?
Very good. Very good.
Really good.
I guess while we're waiting for Dylan, we all know, Rick 24. You should have just stacks and stacks to show. I'd imagine.
I pulled out a bunch.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, one of those recently, which was on Rick's video, was the Type 1 photo, which is unbelievable. Unbelievable fun. Was that an auction find?
Yeah.
Incredible.
I probably bid too much. I mean, it's one of those things I mentioned on the video, probably 2 people going after it.
All right.
Oh, hold on, Dylan. Let me unmute you. Go.
Do you
live TV, huh?
Rick, do you find that like the photos, everybody loves them, but do you find that they're a little bit more affordable because the market just isn't as big as it is for cards? Or am I out of whack when I say that?
No, the prices have really gone up in the past 3 or 4 years, but they're still, borderline Hall of Famers or people like that. You can buy a Type 1 photo $30-$40.
Right.
By an 8x10. Yeah, for sure.
And if you're not, I know Type 1 obviously is the most desirable, but if you find a Type 2, correct me if I'm wrong, same negative, just produced in later years.
Yeah. So a lot of times I have, let's see if I can pull this out here. It's a Mathewson, and it's a Type 2, but it was this right here, and it was developed. Was developed in the 20s. Okay. This is probably a young Mathewson. We're probably talking 19 to 8, 4, 8, somewhere in that general area. But this was developed in 1920.
Sure.
So I'm going to buy this all day long for a quarter of the price. This would probably go, if this was a Type 1 with this image, it would probably go $1,500 or something like that.
Okay.
And this is probably Texas, the background spring training.
Yeah.
But heck, 15 years later, all day long for, I don't know what it was. It was $200, maybe $300.
So that's the difference. So the Type 1 might be like 1,500. A Type
Yeah.
2 is the same. Just produce that afterwards, a fraction of that.
Yeah. Same negative. Now the paper definitely would be different.
Right.
You wouldn't have the borders like it does here. But I mean, a fantastic image, you know. So
Oh, it's great.
all
No,
day
I
long.
I know
I
McGraw. McGraw loved going to Texas.
Yeah.
He was all about it.
Yeah.
I've just seen a little bit of that and dove in a little bit, and I was kind of amazed at what some of the prices are. I'm like, really? This is just
I got
nuts.
another one. I don't know if you can see up there. See that? Same spring training up there
Right.
in the background. Similar. Most of his photos are kind of like that, the same location. You know, I don't know why they determined to take a photo there. You know, it's T206, the same location.
Right. Right. Oh, that's wild. That's crazy.
Yeah.
So I don't know why we're waiting from the man from Hawaii. Should we kick it off with some 24?
Kick it off. Kick it off. I got Rick on the main screen, man.
Yeah.
You gotta
Have
do
at
it
it,
right.
Rick.
All right. So I have his 51 Bowman rookie.
Good way to kick it off.
Yeah, no kidding.
And you can see two things about this. One, the negative, it is off center. The positive is the image is like totally fantastic. There's no print lines, which are typical for this. The colors, I mean, crazy color. So, you know, I can live with the horizontal card.
Right.
That's off center more than I could a vertical card. And more the image, you know, if it had a crease here, or the print lines usually go right through here, or you know, I'll take this every day over that, a centered one, you know. So
yeah, I'm just the opposite of Dylan, Rick. Like, to me, off center, that's how it was produced. The card came off the line that way, so to me it's not as offensive. I know a lot of people don't like it, but
the corners and stuff are, I mean, spot on.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They're just spot on. So
I take that all day long.
So that's my, you know, this was important to have this card. You know, you spend up for, well, it's before the pandemic, so you know, but still expensive card. I could show another one, or you want?
Yeah, go ahead, bro. Go ahead. There's no rules here.
All right, so here's the 52.
Dylan's got to settle in.
Here's the 52. It's pretty well centered. The Burke Ross.
Yes. Oh, what a beauty. What a beauty.
And a 4.
Oh.
I mean, I love this image. I mean, this, I would say I'm prejudiced here. The Burke Ross, this is the one to get if you're going to get one. You know, a lot of the Burke Rosses is like, so-so, you know, the image.
Right.
But this one is spot on the Burke Ross Mays. So
I agree.
I like the Museo. I like the Museo.
Yeah, okay.
That's a cool one.
And a lot of these you can get. I mean, Mays is expensive, but a lot of them are not that expensive, you know.
Right.
Well, a couple more. Here's his 52.
Wow.
Whew. That thing's insane.
We're waiting for Dylan to speak, and I guess that
A
triggered
little off center again, Dylan. I'm sorry.
No, that is spectacular. Spectacular.
So what would you think? I mean, this one, if it was a mantle, I could probably sell my house, right? Or buy another house. I could buy a place next to Dylan if this was a mantle. But it's crazy, huh? The price difference between Mays and mantle is just unbelievable.
And it used to be reversed.
Right.
Back in like 93 and before, Willie Mays was worth more than the mantle. I was looking in some Beckett's the other day. I was like, that's just crazy.
And isn't there even a gap from Mantle to Jackie? Like Jackie's a little bit less than Mays. There's a gap between Mays and Jackie, isn't there? Or are they kind of steady now in equal price?
Yeah, I mean, I always thought. I mean, Dylan, when I was younger, I thought it was always Mantle was expensive over.
Yeah,
Right.
There's a point where it switched. You know what it was I was looking at? Not the Beckett. I was looking at the top 300 baseball cards by Mike Payne. In that one, the Mazes are worth more than the Mantles. So whenever that book was produced, you know what? I'm just going to look for it. You guys keep going. It's right here.
So here's this 52 Bowman. It's not in the greatest shape. This is but it looks like, if I'm looking here, I don't know if it has a crease so much as the corners or so forth are a little beat up, but
Man, that's nice. You're talking to the wrong guy. I
presents
just
well,
want to own
you
the
know.
car. I take it in a 1. That's beautiful.
yeah.
That is a really nice card, Rick.
I don't know. Do you see? I don't look for them, but I don't see a lot of 52 Bowman Mazes out there. But maybe I'm just not at a show. I'm not looking for it. But I mean, they're out there.
Nice ones.
I see them relatively.
Okay.
I'll see in Facebook groups. I'm sure if we did a search on eBay, we could find a bunch.
Yeah.
Dude, that was
If you're referring to like card shows, in particular,
Mm-hmm.
if I go to a small one, like a 50 table, probably not like a found card. But if you go to like the Philly show, you'll probably find it.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah.
What do you got there, Dylan?
Here, show this real fast because we're talking about them.
Yeah, go ahead.
So we've got, whenever this was made, I go look at the book. You got the Mays at 2,500, Mantle at 1,500, and the Jackie at 1,500. Jackie's always been expensive, and everyone says, his price has jumped.
Right.
But he's always been expensive. And you look back then, I mean, look at that. Same price as Mantle, and Mays was more. And this is the Mike Payne for 300 cards. So that tells you something.
Yeah, when was it
switched?
When was that? That had to be like.
Trying to see. I mean, it was during the Beckett times.
So 80s, 90s, right? Is what you think?
Yeah. Trying to find a date. But yeah, there you go. Go ahead, go back to Rick. I just had to share that since.
That's crazy.
No problem. So what year? Sorry, what year did you? I'm sorry, Jason. Did you ask what year that Beckett was made?
The Mike Payne book is what he's looking up because
the Mike Payne. Okay,
yeah.
I thought it was a Beckett book. So what year is it, Dylan? Does it say have a copyright or anything?
That's what he's looking for.
Trying to see, but it's published by Beckett, so Beckett was definitely around. So,
Does it say 1,500? Like Stuke and Orlando are asking if it said 1,500 or 15,000 for the Mantle.
Well, let me double check. Maybe I read it wrong too. Nope.
But
it doesn't. It says 2,500 for the Mays, 1,800 for the Mantle, and 1,500 for Jackie.
I can't tell.
Yeah, it did say right. Okay. Yeah, I sort of see it a little bit.
And published by Beckett. So
that's crazy.
There you go.
When you go back and look, prices are. It's pretty cool to see the different things that happen. Like Ted Williams was super expensive back then, still same price. So
which makes them affordable now. So super expensive back then and affordable now.
It's like cheap because he's the same price as what back then.
Right.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Andrew's thinking that it was 1999 when that book was made, but
I don't know. I don't even believe it though. But anyway,
I saw 99 on there, but I'm like, that doesn't sound right.
Yeah, I would have thought older. Actually, I would have. Yeah. But all right, who's up? Dylan, gonna show some cards.
3,000 for Matthews.
Dylan,
sure.
Rick, you're done.
Well,
we'll
go ahead.
Kind of bop around.
Split it up here.
Okay, I'll switch players, and I'll switch sports on you guys. So,
oh boy,
I couldn't hear a word you guys said. My rooster was getting stolen at that moment. I heard some kids outside, and they had a can. So I'm like trying to calm down. I almost had my pet stolen. She's just crazy. So I had to tell him, it's our pet. So I don't know what you guys talked about before I got on here, but I'm gonna share this Kobe Bryant basketball card, 1997 SPX. These are 96, 97. So this is the card.
Awesome card.
Pulled this exact card in a pack because I was buying was collecting basketball cards in 96 and 97, I believe, like both years. So 96, 97, 97, 98. I went on a bender of basketball cards. Frank and Sons, going and buying boxes every week, watching guys just like they do now rip open boxes of SP Authentic and look for Darius Miles, and they throw away the base cards, and they would just piles of stuff, no different than now. And so I watched that go on during those times. Maybe it wasn't Darius Miles, but that might have been a different year. But
what year? Yeah, Darius Miles was highly touted for a while there, right? He just came out of high school.
I think that was 2001. So I guess I was buying basketball cards then too. So.
Yeah. No, that's I actually, Dylan, I was lazy man looking, and I was looking for my Kobe's, and all the Kobe's I had them in 8. And he wore 2 numbers because I've got a lot of the earlier stuff had him in 8. So I wanted to grab one when he was in 24, and I'm like, I'm not looking anymore. So
yeah, to be honest with you, I mean, this might be number 8 too, and I literally had to Google search who's number 24. I never knew people's people's jerseys number until YouTube. That's a new thing for me. Even Mantle, I never even thought about that. So yeah,
I knew basketball better. I was a basketball guy early on, and I collected a lot of basketball. So came from a basketball family. So most of us know basketball. Baseball I never paid attention to. Obviously, I knew Mantle, Ruth, the big guys, but Mays I knew, Griffey, obviously. But I looked up a few guys. I'm like, oh, he wore 24, so I grabbed the card. So.
Yeah, exactly. Well, go ahead. That's good. I'll share. I don't have that many, so
I'm gonna share the greatest 24, possibly in the history of 24s. 2005 World Series champion and third baseman for my White Sox, Joe Creedy. So I had to break out 2 Creedy cards. If Mitchell's in the chat, I know he would have said, "Where's your Joe Creedy?" So I grabbed 2 Joe Creedys. Got to see him in Game 1 of the World Series, and that's a memory that'll last a lifetime for me. So definitely had to show. I'm building up because nobody cares about Joe Creedy except for me and Mitchell. So
yeah. So all right. I'll just start. Yeah. Literally start small. Gotta go with the decal of Willie Mays. So
love that.
Yeah. I found this lurking around. I'm like, yep, let's do that. And then this came from a collection. Somebody signed a $1. Somebody signed a $1 bill. No, this collector was selling a collection to B. Roth. I was there because I was kind of like I was initially going to buy the collection, and then I brought Brian with me because at the time I was like, you know what, I think Brian can probably afford it more so than me, and but the collector, the guy who sold it, said I can have this. So
Wow.
Nice. I don't know the origin story. I think he told me that him and his sister ran into Willie Mays back in maybe the 80s or maybe the 70s, and asked him, and they didn't have a card. All they had was a $1 bill. And so that was, he probably got a kick out of that.
Would you authenticate that, Sammy? Would you ever consider it?
No, I'm just going to keep it. And, I have no reason to authenticate that. It's not going to go anywhere. And then finally, I'll just finish this one off because, is 19, I think it's 59. I want to say it's 59 or 50. I can't remember. It's the picture packs of the Giants that they gave out back then. There's a whole set of them, which I have the set. Has Monty Irvin in there, and some, it's it's one of those underrated oversized cards that I think people tend to overlook on them, but I think they I think they have a good value to them for any Mays collector, in my opinion.
And that's another thing. A lot of those picture packs and photos, they're some of them are pre-rookie, so you can find some really nice stuff. I'm on the oversized kick right now. I love the oversized stuff.
Oh yeah, I tend to, because oversized tends to go for a little bit less than some of the standard cards, and I mean, I don't think I could get rid of my 52 Mays, but if I were to sell it, and I know I can always find another one down the road.
Right.
So, but I'll hold off on that for now. Eric, I'm going to bring it back to you, buddy.
All right, so this one I picked up from George Diamond Yard, and his 53, right? Yeah, 53. And George, if you know George, he has a good eye for cards. So
Yeah, he does.
for one, this is a fantastic one. And the image, the quality of the registration and so forth, colors, fantastic. So I got this one.
Was that a short print, guys? Does anybody know in the 53 set?
I don't think so.
If anybody in the comments knows that, say yes or no. Because I thought maybe it was, but I wasn't certain.
And I got right above. I got the photo there. Big old.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I was looking. I'm like, where? Oh yeah.
Orlando claims it's a short print.
Okay, I thought it was.
I think yeah. A lot of people tend to really gravitate to that 53.
It's a great looking card.
Yeah, that's definitely the fielding.
Sammy has this one. It's the 54 Stallmeyer.
Oh God, great card.
Got a nice stain on it there. A couple stains.
You gotta
A
have
wiener stain.
You gotta have some hot dog juice on there.
That's right. Same image, right? That Sammy just showed, and the one I showed the card. So
that scowl that he has.
So, of course,
that's cool, man.
That's awesome.
Let's see, it has.
Those are tough. Those are tough to find. You don't see those too often.
Yeah. The one I really want, and Mangini has it, is the Briggs Meat Maze.
Oh yeah, that one's even tougher.
Oh, it's so expensive though nowadays. It's crazy.
What is it about the Briggs Meat? Is it just the scarcity of the card? You can't really.
I think so. Yeah.
That's really what it is.
Monty Irvin. Briggs Meat, but it's nowhere near the price of them. The Maze, you're talking 6,000 up.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
okay.
They just never come up for auction, and when they do it, they're expensive. Let's see here, what else I got? So this is the Home Run Derby.
That's one. There's one on eBay right now.
Those are crazy expensive right now.
They're expensive. There's one being offered for like almost $8,000.
Those skyrocketed quickly.
For sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I know
the old TV show, right?
You and Petty have one.
Yeah.
I still watch Home Run Derby every now and then. When there's nothing on TV, I'll go on YouTube and watch a couple Home Run Derby episodes.
Yeah. Huh?
So cool. I remember when
was it Wrigley Field in L.A.
L.A. Right.
Yeah.
Cool.
All
right.
Way back and gone. Look at the left field wall.
Flip it to Dylan. Dylan, shock us with somebody.
Okay, first I'll answer Mike Good asked two questions. One, if the sharks come in closer during the winter, and yes, I surfed today. Not necessarily. We call October Sharktober over here. That's when they mainly come out, but they are definitely here in June. I know from experience. They're here all year, but I haven't really heard that. But you see them, they're around. Next question he had was, did we buy those cards from last night's live stream, Rick? Did John buy those cards from you? And I did. Well, I bought one from James. I still got to send him the Venmo. And then George, he's going to send me the pictures tonight. So I hope so.
Nice.
Okay. And now my card, one that just, touches the heartstrings for me. This card for me is, is the Willie Mays of, my childhood.
Nice.
1986. Then this is the Tiffany version, of course. That's how I'm collecting my Topps cards now from the Jump Black era. And this is, the 71 Mays is just a beautiful card. And having this card and now having the real card and putting them side by side is just awesome. And on the backs of these, it talks about Willie Mays. So it's really cool. I'm assuming it talks about Willie Mays. I actually haven't read it, but I'm sure it does.
It talks about Don Mossy.
That's a lot. That'd be awesome, yeah. And then I'll show one more. I'll show a 2003 Bowman Chrome gold refractor. Now there's only 50 of these. They're not numbered, but when you bought a box of Bowman Chrome from 2003, there was a box topper, and in that box topper were Willie Mays, and there was 50 golds, and then they had a regular refractor, and then they had the regular one. So each box came with one. So this is one of the 50, so the hardest one, of course. And this was like, $30. Really awesome card. Yeah, I love it. So this is how I'm kind of collecting, Mays and a couple of other big boys and modern cards. It's really fun for me.
So I have jumped that train. I was always I prefer player days cards, but the cards that are coming out, even back then, we're talking 90s, late 90s, early 2000s, cards of retired players or Hall of Fame players or the greats in the new style are phenomenal. They are so cool, and you can get them for virtually nothing. Even now, like the most recent stuff, the archives and the heritage, you get some real cool stuff for like $3 or $4. I mean, it is just so cool. I'm on that train, Dylan. I have one.
It's a fun train.
Yeah, I've got a stadium club here of Willie Mays. I mean, nothing major, but I love the way it looks. I think it's fantastic. Yeah. It has a $2 card. Probably that's perfect. So if you can get past the playing days, which I have now because I seem to want to collect everything, I'm on it. So
it's a great way for us vintage guys to collect modern and still see the designs of today, because I love design. So I get to collect one card of Willie Mays every year if I want, or switch it up, Babe Ruth and all these guys, and I can collect a rare one, in quotes. Manufacturer's. Well, I can hunt that stuff and find one that there's only 50 of, and they're still cheap. I mean, like $25, $30.
Well, I get a kick out of it, and you guys may have seen it. I'm gonna talk about another show I'm on. Aaron and I do a show called Mount Rushmore. Aaron Value Vintage, and he's got an amazing collection, right? So we've done a couple episodes, and he's breaking out his Rogers Hornsby collection. I'm like, I don't have any playing days Rogers Hornsby, so I went online and bought a bunch of $2, $3 cards that are phenomenal. Just for the episode, I'm like, all right, I can represent now. I can add him to my Mount Rushmore because you got to have a card. So as long as I have the card, I'm like, he can be on. So that's kind of what got me on that train of, all right, I'm digging these. So very cool.
Well, that's this round. So go to Jason now.
I'll rattle off several players because I only grabbed one card of them because I was being lazy. First, we've got Miguel Cabrera. He's a 24. And a future Hall of Famer. And Ricky with the Yankees was 24. So I had to find my Ricky Yankees card. Yeah.
Wow.
With the Yankees, he was 24.
No way.
And then Manny Ramirez, Stars. So I figured these were guys that I just grabbed singles of, and I'm like, all right, I got to represent them. They're worth being on here. So I saw Detroit collector Eric mentioned Miguel, so I showed him Miguel. So we'll try to represent them all if we can. But yeah, just easy stuff, cheap stuff, cheap cards, fun stuff.
Absolutely. All right, so I guess I'll come back up. So there's more J Publishing stuff from different years. So we got this one here. Great shot of him. I kind of like the depth that this one has. You have the lights from the stadium. You have a little bit of shots of the crowd. I don't know who the teammate is in the back. It's something I have to look into perhaps. There's that one. This one's even better. I think this one I want to say is used in the 1954 All-Star photo pack that was issued. Great set, by the way. If you're looking for an alternative to the Ernie Banks rookie from the set, I think they generally kind of go for around the same price, but it's an oversized item. But a great set, All-Star photo pack. That's one that's elusive to me that I haven't picked up yet is a 54 All-Star photo pack, but this one's a close second.
Yeah, and it's a great image of Banks. I know you kind of mentioned rookie, great image.
So here is some of my favorite graded. Got the Journal Americans. These were put into the New York Journal American newspaper. Obviously, it featured all of the major New York teams at the time. You have the Dodgers, the Giants, and the Yankees. So you're going to have all the big stars. You'll have Mantle. You have Jackie. Really everybody in this set. So very, off the beaten path, but still a nice collectible. And and then the counterpart was 4 years later in '58. San Francisco Call-Bulletin must have got the memo because they copied and ripped off their style. But only this time, only San Francisco Giant players were listed. And the first card I found was actually from a year ago at Strongsville. It wasn't Willie Mays because I didn't know that this set even existed. And it turned out that I found the Orlando Cepeda, which was from his first year in the '58 series. And I had no idea that there was something other than his Topps '58 rookie. And lo and behold, Cepeda was in there. And I've since sold that over to Dom from Staven Sports Cards. It seems like we go after the similar stuff. But then as soon as I found the Mays, I'm like, okay, I'm ready to move on from the Cepeda. Dom was the first person to reach out. So this was part of that big 4 collection purchase that I made with the 2 items above me there, and a card that I show 5,000 times according to Mangini.
Didn't you have a Monty Irving too, Sammy? Did you have a Monty Irving?
No, the Monty Irving. Well, yes, I still do have the Monty Irving Journal American.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, that one was somewhere around here. I gotta find it, but I'll stop there. Bring it over to Rick.
Bring out the big guns, Rick. Rick has got all the big guns.
Well, here's the photo we talked about earlier.
I love that.
51.
It's incredible.
So
Love
I
the
just had
size.
to have
Love
it.
the size.
Yes.
Oh yeah, so that's not like full photo size when you brought it back. It's not like it's smaller than 8x10. It looks like.
Oh, 4x6. No,
Okay.
5x7. 5x.
Okay.
I don't know. Something like
I like that.
that. So, love it. Here's 3 cards that from my own childhood. Let's see here. See my vintage oddball cards there?
Nice.
Yeah.
See, it's not centered. It's not centered from my childhood right there.
I'll duel it with Rick because Rick's bringing out the big guns and I got all the later issued stuff. So
Here, this one's centered though.
Oh yeah.
Incredible.
Can't believe I didn't tear this. I mean, in a bind, it's all kinds of issues. Always the corners, when you're a child.
Oh yeah.
right.
This one here.
Yeah,
That's it.
that's a tough. Those are tough to find centered. I can never
Yeah,
find them
it's
centered.
nice.
They're
That's
so
your childhood
challenging
one
to
too,
find.
Rick?
Yeah, no rubber band marks. So I don't know.
You jumped on late, Mitchell. I already showed it. I knew Mitchell was going to say it.
So
Oh,
those
Mitchell,
are 3 from
Mitchell has
Oddball.
he has
I
the
have
capability to rewind if he wants to.
I showed this one. Oh, you got another one here. Did I show this one? I don't think I showed this one. This one. Did I show this one?
No,
Not yet.
65.
Now you have.
No, I have.
Yep.
That's one of my favorite Willie Mays cards right there.
The Rooster is really excited to see that one.
Well, I'm really excited he's still with us. That's our guy.
And I'll show one more here. So I showed this last night. This was my first eBay purchase.
That blows my mind that you remember that. I freaking love that.
Wow.
So this is probably 2000, 2001, maybe? I don't know.
Wow. 2001.
Yeah, I can
PSA
still
7s.
remember. I can't remember yesterday, but I remember going, oh my God, eBay, they're selling cards.
And there's no Gixon to last minute snipe you.
And you'd write out a check and send them, back
geez.
then. And my computer would crash and everything else,
Dude,
That was
I had
great.
dial-up when I first started
Yeah.
eBay.
Exactly.
It's
Exactly.
insane. So crazy. And then
That's wild.
Yeah.
you're like, this is insane.
Were you buying
Refresh.
cards, Dylan?
Oh, I was going bonkers in high school. Like I ran up a credit card debt and was buying so much crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny. I never really I didn't buy a million cards off eBay back then, but I never had an issue writing out a check and I got the card. It's just kind of crazy.
That's all right. Petty's still writing checks. He
Yeah.
wrote one in Strongsville last year. So.
Dude, getting the money orders too, you had to drive to the store, get a money order. It
Right.
was like a big night.
That's right.
Wild.
That's right.
Wild.
Wild.
All right. So what do we got, Dylan?
Oh, I'm up.
Yeah, flash us some magic.
Let's see. Okay, so like I was talking about, I like collecting the modern guys on the regular design. So I love the way for me to do that best is for Topps Gilded because they have all the classic, the vintage players that I collect and Willie Mays. And this is on a 2023 Topps designed baseball card. This is a special set. And there's basically, this one's numbered out of 99, but this is the easiest one to get. So total copies of this card from those boxes was probably in the 250 range. And that's all they made. That includes the one numbered to 99. There's a 25 and a 1 of 1 and a 1 to 50. So you add those up, that's a total print run. And it's a really fun way for me to collect these guys. And I love it. I can't recommend enough. And this card right here, I want to say I paid $30 for it at the most, probably like 20. So it's not like you're spending your life savings. You're going to lose your pants like everybody thinks when you're collecting modern. You don't have to buy that stuff. Just buy the fun stuff and you can still find a little scarcity in it. So I'll show the 2022 as well. So this is the 2022. Same deal. This one's numbered to 99. So this is the base card, one of the base cards. And the boxes were really expensive. You'd never open a box. So yeah, I love it. And I get the images. I really, truly enjoy collecting. It's my favorite modern set to collect with vintage players on it, period. And better than even Heritage because this set has everyone that you want. Koufax, Satchel Paige, anyone you want to collect. It's really cool. So that's what I got.
I love that, Dylan. I do. Now,
I got to shout out Shane, Shoebox Legend, because he's the one who turned me on to these originally a couple years ago. So I got to give him the props.
Now, is the Gilded have the cognac? Is that or is that just I know there's a cognac.
No, that was regular Topps.
Okay.
And
Because those are beautiful too.
I want to say that was only 1 year, 2010, but
Okay.
I'm, or 2011.
All right. Sweet. So who we got? Who's up? Me?
Yeah,
All right. I'm not. Since Rick's bringing out the big guns, I'm going to show Willie Mays on a budget. So there we go. We've got the 70 booklet. I bought about 5 of these booklets. All of them were Hall of Famers except Pete Rose, and I think I got them for like $1 or $2 each.
That's insane.
Yeah,
you know what's fun about that when you open it up? It talks about it mentions who he hit his first home run off of, which obviously it's Warren Spahn.
Right.
It mentions that in there.
I have to show this one, and I don't know if Rick even knows this. I've said it a couple times on videos if he's had a chance to see it.
Yeah, I have that.
Rick is the one. Rick, you are the one who got these. So I have the entire set from '64. This was the last one I got to complete the set because I wanted it right. I wanted it unpunched. I wanted it clean. And this is the one. I saw it on your channel, and I said those are cool. And I've gone down that rabbit hole so far. If you're familiar, I've said it 1,000 times. The 64 set is 16 records. The 62 test set was, I believe, 8 records with 3 image variations. So Mantle, Rocky Calavito, and Jim Gentile are the image variations. I have the Mantle. I need 2 more image variations, and then I have every image from the Aurora Vision set. But believe it or not, the Calavito and the Gentile variations are more expensive than the Mantle because they're harder to find.
You are now the expert at this now. So anytime anybody runs into that and wants to buy one, find Jason.
I do have I do know of a dealer, Chris from Missouri, if he's still on, knows this dealer as well, who's got a truckload of them. And he'll sell you a complete set. He'll sell you individuals, and I bought a lot of mine off of him. And then later on, I was at the Sports Spectacular with a couple friends of mine. I think I picked this up to kind of complete the set. and we went back to his booth, and there was a young kid who wanted to get into vintage who I just met, and this dealer was selling the entire set, and the kid probably spent less than I did trying to build the set one at a time. So I said, buy the whole thing, and all unpunched, all in great shape, just beautiful, beautiful images and records. So, and
How do you store those things, Jason?
What?
Do you put those in an album? With big
So basically, it's a 45 top loader. Are you talking protection?
like how do you store them? Do you stack them?
I've got a box for my oversized stuff. I have like a bin
gotcha.
for oversized stuff.
Okay.
I've been working on this card room for 6 months and have done absolutely nothing with it. It's my oldest daughter's bedroom, and she doesn't live here anymore. So sooner or later I'll get it done, and then the entire closet will be, oversized, and a lot of my sets and things of that nature. But sooner or later I'll get that done. And then I finished this off. This is a childhood card of mine as well. So it's a little beat. The reason it's not the top loader is because these are the top supers. They're thick, and mine are a little bit bowed. So you can see, and I can't even see, this is the 71 because I've got a couple of the 70s as well. This is well loved, but that's about as best as I can protect that right now because I don't want to put it in the top loader. But
Is that his only card where he has like flip shades on his hat?
right. How cool is that, right?
I don't think I've ever seen a card where he has flip shades ready to go.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I've never
I
seen
love the
that card
supers
before either.
Yeah, I love the supers, and again, pretty affordable. Not the 69s, but the 70s and the 71s are pretty affordable. So you can find some cool stuff.
Cool. Alrighty. What's it called? Sorry, I'm losing track here. Rick showed this earlier, but I'll show mine is here as well.
There we go.
Yeah, the other one here.
Yours in better shape. Is that a one?
I don't know. The back. I mean, the back on yours is a little better because this one it's kind of like kind of wrinkling itself. Or
does yours have the stamp in front there by its underneath the where his belly button would be? I guess
the stamp. When you say the stamp, I mean
So these were known to have stamps on them, like a number, like 827. It would maybe be a factory thing, or not sure.
No, I don't see it on mine, so I'd have to probably.
Yeah, some do, some don't.
Yeah,
but there's a little. I don't think we know why, but it's
is it
like
possible
a number, 3 numbers.
Is it possibly like a USDA thing, Rick? Because
I don't know. It's just 3 numbers.
So Stahlmeyer.
So does yours have it, Rick?
Let me see here. You can kind of see mine's kind of rubbed out a little bit. It looks like, but above the lettering, below the lettering, right there. See?
Yeah,
it's kind of smeared.
Oh, that's so interesting.
And I've seen them in different locations. But I'm sorry.
I want to see Sammy's again because I thought I saw.
No, mine doesn't have it. If it was there, it's gone.
Okay.
So mine, I think mine says 928. I think I teased Mangini because he was showing his too. It didn't have it. I said that must be a fake.
So Rick, are you telling me yours was a little rubbed out and it's got a hot dog juice on it? Because those combinations don't go well together.
So here's the 52. Yeah, the 52 Redman tobacco. I just did a whole video talking about the connection between the Pinkerton tobacco cabinets and the Pinkerton Tobacco Company and Redman. So for those that don't know, the Pinkerton Company evolved. The grandson took over and led it into, I think, the 50s. Or no, he more or less, he was the man behind the whole Redman tobacco card movement. And the Redman cards was the first card that was issued since 1920 in a tobacco. So pretty groundbreaking. Obviously, a lot of things were changing at that point with, ice cream and gum and whole 9 yards. So, this one was, I only have one more 52 card to round out. I mean, besides the Bowman 52, I'm looking to get the Star decal to finish the 52 run. And then I'll show, this one is special, the 54 tops. The reason why this one is really special, and I can never sell it is because I bought this off of Jake Legends Never Die before I knew he was Jake Legends Never Die.
That's awesome.
This was off of a Facebook purchase, and I was like, listen, I got to do PayPal goods and services just because it's our first transaction, and he was cool with it. But we have a good laugh about it now because obviously, we know each other well, and
Haven't you guys roamed at the National together?
yeah, exactly.
Right.
But when we found out, I was like, wait a minute, where do I know that name from? And all of a sudden I connected the dots and I was like, oh my God. Yeah, I don't need to do we can do friends and family going forward. We're friends now. So there you go.
That's
all right,
awesome.
Rick, bring it back to you, brother.
All right, so this one is tough. It's the 64 metal gold
Oh, that's the one I want.
right off the carton.
Yes.
Yeah.
I saw your video on that when you did your video.
Now, can you name the other 3 players that were on the carton?
Well, Mantle was on there.
One, yeah, Mandel,
I don't know the other two, unfortunately.
Koufax, and Maz. Why would Mazeroski be on it? I have no idea.
Uh-oh, you're gonna offend all the Pirates fans now, Rick.
And you would have Mantle above the Mays here, and they come in different colors. I mean, it's not that. I mean, definitely oddball. You know what I'm saying? But
Right.
very tough. If you're a collector of Mays, this would be something.
And you gotta add that one. That's tough too.
I actually looked it up today on eBay. There's a couple available, but yeah, they're super expensive. They're so pricey.
Yeah.
They're so pricey.
This is pretty common. This you can get for probably $10. It's a Globe Imports.
Yeah.
69.
Yeah.
Yep.
Those are awesome.
They're underrated because it's not like those were. It was a regional set. You find them at gas stations, I think, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're really inexpensive. You could probably buy a whole set for
like 40.
I think there's roof in it too.
Don't you have it, Sammy? Didn't you buy a bunch of them?
Yeah, I have a bunch of them.
Yeah.
Here's the 55 All-American Sports Club.
That's cool.
Oh yeah, that's another underrated card that it's not. I'm not saying it. It's pricey. It's got but compared to his other cards, pretty reasonable.
Yeah.
I feel like anytime the rooster calls, it's
a good card. It's a good card.
They have the 70, 71, 72 Kellogg's that a lot of people have.
It's my favorite. I love
one of them's more. I can't remember which one is tougher. Do you guys know? Who knows? One's tougher to find of this. Is it 70, 71, or 72?
Well, 70, 71 was the first year, right? I believe it was.
70, yeah.
Yeah,
So
70, 70.
And then 71. And 72 it looks old.
He's getting up there.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to see what kind of year Mazeroski had in '63 to kind of justify why he'd be on there, but he didn't have a great year. So
I don't know if they were. I don't know where they were distributed. So maybe
they were distributed in Pennsylvania.
Maybe that's probably
I don't know.
why.
That's a guess.
Yeah.
Cool.
I mean, I can go. Anyone want to switch off a little more?
Yeah, we'll go to Dylan and.
Okay, well, I'll answer the question Carlisle asked.
Let me go back to it.
The chickens, Gimpy he has one leg. His leg's jammed up, and he was in he's a wild chicken, and he was in our zone for like 2 years. And so I finally decided to slowly weed him in with some mealworms. And now he's like our best friend. We pick him up, and he's the guy who almost just got stolen. Like, what are the odds? I was sitting right here, and I heard him screaming. Freaking kids trying to take them so they can fight them. And then the eggs, he asked about the colored eggs. I have no idea. We only have one. His chick that he brings over and mated with just hatched all the hatchlings yesterday or a couple days ago under our deck. So I actually never saw the eggs because she was always under there. And that's Condor is her name. So, and then Gimpy's talking to wild chickens across the valley. So, all right, back to the sports card show. Hey, man, I gotta answer these questions, man. That's just fourth.
Fair.
Right?
Totally fair.
Yeah, absolutely.
Uh,
Absolutely. I
Okay,
appreciate you doing that.
this one is another one that is really special to me because I either pulled this exact one or I purchased this in a lot at my local at Golden West Swap Meet back in '99. So whenever, I don't even know when I bought this, but I let my nephew take one. I had a pair of them. The one I pulled and one I bought later in this big bundle of cards, and that's Kobe Bryant rookie 1996 SP. And stupidly, before the Mag Pros came out and before I was slabbing my own, that's why I sent in, just because I like the looks. I like cards slabbed up and they're in my collection now. I spoke about last week. So this card is just a super classic, iconic card. And what you can buy these for like $10, right? Ungraded. Yep. And that's what I love about base cards. Everyone says they're printing too many or they should be worth more. No, they shouldn't be worth more. And they can print as many as they want. That's what base cards are for. They're for us. So every single person on the planet who wants one can afford one and have one. I love base cards for that. But for me, I want the money involved as well for my main collection. That's why I go after the rare, the harder stuff. So that is really just a special card. And then the next one I'll share, because it's an orange card, is another one. Willie Mays wasn't in too many sets back in the early days of the 2000s and stuff. So when I find one that I think is awesome, this is from 2020 Bowman Chrome Orange Refractor number to 25. And they couldn't find out how rare these were. It's obviously a subset with the greats, other guys. And this just happened to be the Orange Refractor. So hard to pull indeed, but I don't know the exact numbers because they don't say. But I love it. I just love having these cards. There we go. And 2 orange cards. I thought they'd go together. So,
that's a beautiful maze. Beautiful maze. And I'll concur on several things. I'm a base card guy as well. And I'll also concur that Kobe Bryant is iconic. It really is. And he's got 4 or 5 rookies. But that when I think of his rookie card, that's the first one I think of.
Me too. 100%.
I love it. Yeah. All right. Well, I guess I'll share since we're all on the maze train here. I'm gonna move it. I mean, how iconic is this guy? For everybody my age and maybe a little bit younger. I got to show some Griffey. So all of the Griffey that I'm going to show are playing days. Again, base card stuff, just like Dylan said. But I love it. I can have it in my collection. It's part of my run. I'm a little bit the opposite, Dylan. I don't need to have cards graded. For particular players, there are certain cards I want graded, but for the most part, I still say probably 70% of my collection at this point is ungraded. So this is a great card. This was Topps Finest franchise records. So just a beautiful card. I still kept the coating on them. I never took the coatings off of them. And I was ripping packs of this, and I think this is 98. So I was ripping packs. Got a league leaders. But Griffey. I mean, if we're talking 24s, obviously Mays is the guy. This guy and maybe one other guy fall right behind him. Another base, and then this is another post-playing days card, Dylan, because I love the post-playing days and have kind of jumped on that. And this is unlicensed. It's done, Ross. So it's locked and loaded. Ken Griffey Jr. But I think it's a beautiful card. And if you're flipping through a dollar bin or a quarter bin, you can find this kind of stuff all day long. So I figured I'd show a couple Griffies. We got to represent them somehow. So
Absolutely.
just a quick show. Yeah, quick show of some cheap fun stuff.
Cool.
Dude, I didn't even know Griffey was number 24. So that's news to me.
Yeah, he's pretty iconic. There's another guy that's pretty iconic that I'll show in a little bit. So, but we know why he's 24 for a reason too. So.
Right. So kind of go. This is my Strongsville purchase from last year. When I literally beelined like 20 minutes into the show, went table to table to table to table. It only took me 20 minutes because I take for like 5 Dylan strides is 1 stride for me. So so I didn't find the Stahlmeyer, so I went for the bazooka that was sitting in Chapel's table and grabbed it immediately. So
hands down, that's my favorite bazooka. That set is
it's tough.
Phenomenal.
It's tough to kind of I mean, the
I wish they were shrunken down, but they're phenomenal.
I kind of like it the way it is.
I love
but
them
I
oversized.
understand.
Yeah.
Love the I love the
Love that.
64s stand-ups. Incredible.
Where's Donnie? Where's Donnie Livestream?
I'll do a shameless plug, but the transograms, and this will transition right over to. Just so you guys know, you can win 4 transograms. I have, and the maze is included. Oh, the maze is included in that. So
Those are some sweet 91
Wow.
flares.
in 2 weeks, in 2 weeks, we'll be announcing a winner. So you guys can, for those that don't know, you can win one. So that's up. It's up for grabs. This one was my most recent one that came back.
Yes.
The 53 to 55. The Howard service photo, but more importantly, this was the 7-Up's opportunity to get into the card game. And on the back, compliments of 7-Up Bottling Company of Minneapolis. And some kid definitely wrote on this. I'm not going to go through it now, but some kid definitely wrote on it saying he wants a Stan Musial in return. So, and I'll finish off. Obviously, I've shown this a million times. Coca-Cola.
It's my favorite. I've said it a million times. That's my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty
I've
sick.
got a few more pieces, but I will switch it over to Rick to continue.
All right. Hi, everyone. So how
Rick,
about
show us your Joe Creedy's, Rick. Show us your Joe Creedy's.
the Milton Bradley Mays? These are really inexpensive.
Yes.
Of course, with the hat there, without the logo. The 70.
Yeah.
The 69 photo stamps. Same thing. Look at the hat.
Right.
Unlicensed.
I always like it because people will say they'll bring out cards from the 60s and say, oh yeah, his hat is airbrushed out. I'm like, they didn't have airbrush in 69. I'm like, that was all manually cut out and done pre-press wise.
I used to write on the back of these, because it's
right.
Write my story about Mays or something. The decal edge, these are really inexpensive.
Mm-hmm.
Hard to find center too. So hard.
This is a little tougher. The 69 Nabisco Team Flakes.
Yeah.
I love them.
The reason probably tougher to find in, for instance, the Kellogg's. Who eats Team Flakes? You know what I mean? These are bland, no sugar. So a kid's not going to be eating this stuff.
They would have faked it though just to get the card back in the day. Mom, I love those. Buy more just to get the card.
And then it shouldn't be. Well, here we go again. It shouldn't be a 5 because it's not cut. One side is not cut outside of the dotted. It's inside the dotted line. So anyway,
John made the argument that because I remember we were taking the train to go to one of the White Plains shows. He made the argument about those, like the cards that get cut out of boxes. He said they should either all be authentic, graded all authentic, or I guess what did he say? Or assigned like a number, or just assigned a number grade.
They've changed. I mean, they've changed that. The standards. Both, I think, all 3 companies have changed the standards over the years for that.
Right.
So, kind of the Wild West.
Is there 2 issues on the Nabisco? Someone did a video, and I can't remember who. There's like a wide border and a thin border. I can't remember.
I don't know.
I thought someone was showing different border. Maybe it was John. It might have been Aaron. I don't even remember.
I'm definitely itching for some Ricky Henderson.
I'm gonna lift this up here, and if I fall over, everything crashes. This was the pre Steph Curry, my favorite player, and he had 24 because of Mays. You see if I can.
Wow.
Rick Barry.
Yep.
24.
How do you shoot his free throws, Rick? How'd he shoot his free throws?
Yeah, underhand.
Yeah.
Yeah, my favorite. Been growing up in the 70s. Fantastic player, but he does, because of Mays, he wore 24.
That's cool.
Yeah,
That is very cool.
And Mays caught like this a lot.
Yeah, that's true.
Catches too, so
Yeah.
that's pretty
He
cool.
would do this like Rick Barry,
Yeah.
like little flick of the wrist, and he
Right.
actually taught. He always wanted to teach Shaq to do it, but Shaq was didn't want to look goofy doing it, and he said he could get somebody at least 80% if he had some time practicing with him.
Yeah, Shaq didn't want to look goofy, so he just became a 40% free throw shooter.
Yeah,
from the
exactly.
line, right? I mean, Hack a Shaq was implemented because he didn't want to look silly. So
Yeah. So I don't know if I can show more. You guys, whatever you can.
Who's
switch
up?
on.
Dylan's up, right?
Well, okay, so I ran next door to grab 2 cards since I didn't even know Griffey was number 24. So I'm taking your guys' word that Griffey's number 24. Honestly, I'm probably the one guy on YouTube that growing up, Ken Griffey Jr. was not my favorite player, not even remotely close to my favorite player, probably because he was left-handed. And, but I think Wally Jarner was left-handed too.
But you don't like lefties, Dylan?
No, but when you're playing home run derby in the front yard, it's like you pick your guys. I didn't pick left-handed batters, and Griffey, I just was against the grain. I really didn't care. He's awesome. He's great. But I do have a couple Griffey cards, and I also don't care who he's playing for either. And somebody also mentioned I was not talking shade on Topps Heritage because it's another binder and a collection I have is to try and find one card from every single year of that Topps made in a Topps Heritage version. So this would be the 1952. So there's a 51 and 52 and all the way till now. And I can pick any player I want. And this happens to be 2001, 1952 Topps. This is the Chrome. And these ones are numbered to 552. So just a classic card for me to collect. And then I had a little Griffey. I think Griffey's amazing. It's awesome, but I wasn't just a super fan. Never have been. Even me pulling 2 Upper Deck rookies out of 3 packs I opened in my whole life as a kid, pulled 2 Griffey rookie cards. They were awesome cards, but Griffey wasn't my guy. So there we go. I got one more card I'm going to share, so I'll wait till the next round if we're doing another round.
Do you have any of the 54 Heritage?
Yeah, I forgot who. Oh, I have Nolan Ryan on that one from Platinum. I also include Platinum, so it gives me a chance to collect not just Heritage. I can collect a Platinum as well.
Yeah, because I've got the Hornsby. That was the Hornsby I bought for that episode. And then I also have a Lefty Grove as well, which is very
It's sick, right?
Yeah. And most of mine's base. I don't have the numbered stuff, but but even though, so you go look for a base and it was like $2, and then a numbered out of 99 is like $4. I'm like, all right, I'll just get the base.
You can't go wrong. What are you gonna? You can put it right back on eBay and sell it for what you paid.
Right.
I'm going for the harder stuff. I guess I'm taking more of a chance spending
right.
$50,
to
$50 or something.
Yeah, to me that's a solidified. It's less of a chance because it's those players. To me, that's like you were explaining earlier. To me, it's not Wander Franco, right? So he's not going to get So
they're already there.
Yeah. So
and I don't buy 10s either, so I
right
do the 10 tax.
No, that's cool as heck.
You're up, Jason.
I will show a guy who my crack research. I know he wore 24 as a White Sox player. I was not certain what he wore as the Indian, so I only grabbed his White Sox issued cards, and that's Early Wynn. So this is his 58. This was one of my first purchases on eBay. I bought it ungraded and then had it graded. And I've actually got a little 3-year run here. So then here's his 59. Early Wynn. Go Sox year, 59. And then 60 was the year after with the stats of the 59 World Series team that ended up losing to the Dodgers. But, 300-game winner, all-time legend, all-time great. I don't understand why pitchers don't get the love in our hobby. I'll pick those up for virtually nothing all day long. And I have a heavy collection of pitchers because I just don't understand why Whitey Ford and Early Win, and those guys go for cheap. Bunning and you can go on in the golden era of all the great pitchers. Robin Roberts is another one. I mean, there's just so many great pitchers, and they're really, really affordable. So I think that's if you're looking to collect on the cheap and on the vintage side of things, and you're looking for Hall of Famers, you don't have a lot in the budget. I would tell people look for pitchers because you'd be amazed at what you can find. Even Spawn comes at a little bit of a premium when it comes to pitchers, but he's still very affordable. So just great stuff. So yeah, I wanted to get my early win in there. I only have one more player left, so we'll get it to Sammy, and then I'll break out the last player that I have.
Hey, Jason, well, since you brought the topic up anyways, the pitcher versus why, in my opinion, on why pitchers are worth less. And I know there's a lot of people in this community that completely disagree with me. I just, when I went to a game when I was a kid, the last thing I wanted to see was a pitcher's duel. I wanted to see home runs. I wanted to see home runs, triples, doubles, singles. I wanted to see hitting. If the pitcher was off on that day, it was a fun game because people were hitting the ball everywhere. So to me, that's why I gravitate towards hitters so much more. I love pitchers. I love Nolan Ryan and stuff, but I think if I'm thinking it, I'm probably not the only one. And that's why, to me, hitters always carry a premium because they're more fun to watch.
Oh,
but
no,
that's
absolutely.
just for me.
Absolutely. Well, in every sport, I mean, let's be honest here. In every sport, what do you want to see? You want to see offense, right? Defense is always gonna take second seat to offense. But from the traditional standpoint of baseball, nothing made me happier than watching two guys going at it, two phenomenal pitchers going at it and just duking it out. It's the reason I'm a big fan of Greg Maddux. Because he didn't have a lot of stuff, but man, he'd put it wherever he wanted to, whenever he wanted to, and was one of the greatest of his time based on that. He wasn't Randy Johnson. He wasn't chucking it. He was just pinpoint accuracy, and I respect that. I think that's cool. What did Chris say? All pitchers are flakes. Look at Sammy.
Yeah.
What does that make catchers? Wasn't Chris a catcher? I think Chris was a catcher.
Catchers are legendary.
Catchers just like to blame pitchers for their problems.
Right.
So this is more the recent pickups from last weekend, but J.D. McCarthy print of Mays in the 60s. Picked this up recently. I gotta just grab carefully. Jigsaw puzzle of Willie Mays with the Mets.
What year is that, Sammy?
70, I want to say 72 or 70, I think 73.
That's cool.
Yeah, I've only seen this once at a show, and I know as a buddy of mine who collects Mays as well, I'll see him at the Philly show next weekend. His name is Woody. Good guy, really good guy. More of the recent stuff,
Hey, are you gonna put that puzzle together?
I might.
You got to make sure it's complete. You got to put it together one day.
At some point, I'll put it together. Baseball tips from the Stars by Mars. I got the Mars bar, and you got Gil on there, and obviously Willie. That's part of the reason why I bought it.
That might be my next record collection. There's a couple of them. I think there's 8 of them. Yeah. If I'm not mistaken, there's 8 of them.
And then this is a little booklet on baseball fundamentals with Mays in the outfield. It's just a great shot of him there, and on the back, it's looking like he's about to, field the play. So pretty cool.
Looks like a 71 Topps card.
It sort of does. The other Mays stuff I have is in my little case here, but I think I'm probably tapped out after that. So pass it on to Rick to continue.
All right.
Okay, so this is a interesting thing here. It's actual AstroTurf from Candlestick Park from 70 to 78. So Mays might have stepped on this. O.J. Simpson. Who else? Johnny U.
Right.
Dude, that's sick, Rick. That's
actual
awesome.
AstroTurf. And you can see kind of what it. Whoops, sorry.
And did you put the sportscaster with it, or?
Yeah, I just put it with it, just because it shows the AstroTurf,
That's awesome.
And I just had to have it as an auction thing. Piece of history for me.
Heck yeah. How much did something like that cost?
This one was like Probably $100.
Dude, I mean,
Totally
come
worth
on.
it.
I would
Totally
do that in
worth
2
it.
seconds for like the Angels they dug out. I buy some grass and plant it. God, sick.
Yeah,
Oh.
so it's kind of cool. Because I grew up at a Candlestick.
Yeah, of course.
That's awesome.
You had to, it was the type of thing where it's your stadium. So you can rip it as much as you want. It was freezing, winds howling. It's kind of interesting because I live in San Jose, and it's from Candlestick, it's probably 45 minutes. And it could be 80 in San Jose, but you get to Candlestick, it's 55 degrees, fog's rolling over, winds blowing, probably just like Chicago.
Yep, exactly.
You're in shorts and then you're in a ski jacket at Candlestick Park. And I don't know.
I was going to ask if fog ever stopped the games.
All the time off of the games would get delayed because of fog at Candlestick.
Yeah, fog would roll over. And I actually saw Mays play, McCovey play. I don't remember too much, type of thing. We would go to a lot of like double headers, when they used to have the double headers and
spend all day there.
Oh, I loved it,
awesome.
man. I loved it. My parents were going, well, let's go. And no, we're staying, this kind of thing, stay. And they had bat day. Can you imagine having bat day nowadays in a stadium, or ball day?
Don't do that at Comiskey. They'll attack the umps and beat them with the bat.
Full size bats, not little bat, not mini bats.
No, they had the souvenir bats, but I know the minor leagues had the full size. They might have had the full size bats too. And then the helmets, the plastic helmets.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Really cool, and I don't know. It just brings back memories. My only playing day auto card. And I never, growing up, I've mentioned this on videos, you just didn't want to disgrace, you just didn't want to write on the card, anything, a player sign it. You'd always do a hat, your shirt, a notebook, whatever, but you just wouldn't do a card. So this is only my only playing day one auto.
Rick, you're a little older than me, but I grew up in the era of the same thing. Like signing a card just wasn't a thing. You didn't do it, right?
Yeah.
Never thought of that.
Yeah, and then, just, childhood stuff.
There you go.
Yeah. This one's a Kellogg's.
Yeah, that's I've got that's like in the 90s.
Yeah,
yeah, I've got the Harmon Killebrew from that set. And I think a Stargell, maybe.
These are all just kind of
yes.
These are some early eBay purchases.
71.
Yeah.
Oh, it's clean. That's clean.
Sevens, man. You were like me. Sevens and Mangini.
Yeah,
sevens back then.
thing.
They were cheap.
Sevens. It was sevens, and then if I couldn't afford a 7 for whatever player, it'd be a 4 for whatever reason. I guess because of 4, you wouldn't have the creases,
Right.
So much as the corners would probably be all banged up and everything. And then the 7s are like great to buy 7s compared to 8s.
Pack fresh. Yeah.
I live in the 4 world, 4s and 5s for anything 60s and below. That's my world.
Yeah.
I'd pass up a nice looking 6 if it was $20 more just to get the 4. Save $20. That's just how I am.
And I have I did some wall here. I put them up. I have the full run of Mays, the Mays cards, and they're Frankenstein. Like some I showed you, they're great. Some are whatever.
I'm the same way.
A little of everything.
Let's use every term that Mangini hates: Frankenstein, oddball, whatever we can think of. We got
junk wax era.
PSA is phenomenal.
Yeah. So I would like to get a couple cards I wrote down is that there's a 58 Packard Bell schedule postcard that's tough, expensive, tough. They were selling the like radios and so forth, and it's a really tough postcard to get. One that I'll never own because I think the last one sold for $174,000 is the 61 Topps dice game.
Did you hear about the
Mays.
uncut sheet that's going to be put in
Yes.
auction?
Yes.
I'm
Is that
not
crazy?
even familiar with that.
It's
Did, they,
such a
did,
tough.
did that get peeled off of Pepino's wall? Such a-
So
I don't know
it
if you
was
guys
never
watch
released.
his last
That was
video.
never released. And like I said, I looked it up just today. The last one sold Mays $174,000.
Jesus.
The
That's
crazy
insane.
game. The Topps Punch Out game, 66 Topps Punch Out. I mean, it's more of an oddball type thing. But those are, in the Briggs meet. There's not a lot, that I still need, but
Did the punch outs have the circles on it, right?
yeah, little balls,
Yeah. Okay.
little balls.
Yeah.
Well, there's definitely one card, and I think you mentioned you've seen raw ones. It's the 1966 Dominican Republic Willie Mays card.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah, that would be one.
What about the Willie Mays Menko card? I know there is one. Isn't there one? Or maybe I'm thinking of the Jackie. Maybe I'm thinking of the
there's
Jackie.
no Mays. There's no Mays in the Menko.
Yeah,
it is a Jackie.
The one
It is a
that
Jackie.
Sammy mentioned, that would be. That's going to be, the price is going to be all.
What, the Dominican Republic one?
Yeah.
The last one sold in 2018 for $800. It's the only graded copy.
800. That's it.
Back in
That's
2018.
18. That's 18.
Yeah,
Right.
2018, and it's the only graded copy that exists between PSA and SGC. So you can imagine how the card that's graded was, it's creased to hell, but it's one of those things where it's like WILLY. It's little things like that just make it special.
Yeah.
That's cool.
There's a question. What are those bats, Rick?
Actually, this one here is Mays, autographed Mays here. And actually,
Not game used.
I got him saved. I got him to sign it. And the one above it, so I know it's legit. And then this one here, it's kind of interesting. It's Harmon Killebrew, but let's see here. Harmon Killebrew, but it's the player is Andy Van Slyke.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's a
That's
1
classic.
of 1. You can see the number, Andy Van Slyke, his number here. So it's one of his bats. It might be a 1 of 1. He probably, hey, can you sign it for me?
Right.
And somehow I ended up with it. So
that was Andy Van Slyke's game. You think that was a game used bat, Andy
no,
Van Slyke?
it's one of his bats, not game used.
He probably
hit
with it though.
Bats.
Yeah.
And it just kind of interesting that he would sign
Someone else's bat.
someone, yeah.
Right.
Totally.
And by the way,
I purchased this thing for, no lie, like $45.
That's insane.
So all day, right? It looks
Right.
like his signature.
Just for the bat.
And he's got one of the best signatures of all. He took
So I
his
thought it
time.
was cool.
Yeah, beautiful.
$45.
signature.
I don't know how they swing these things, man. They're so freaking heavy.
I've
Dude,
got a killer
I was
ball.
looking in that.
So do I. Yeah.
In that, we all get the magazines from like Heritage and stuff. I look at the bats and then the estimates. I'm like, you can get like a Ted Williams bat for like estimate of 25 grand, like a game used. I'm like, that's kind of freaking awesome. Like, I could only imagine having a Ted Williams game used bat. And literally, like, I could sell cards and buy that. And that crosses my brain sometimes. I don't know if you guys ever thought about like going on the bat scene, but I was like, that sounds like cheap. 25 grand for a game used bat from Ted Williams.
They're not they're not that expensive, and I think it's because of the bulkiness of them, right? Obviously 25 grand, but that's game used at Ted Williams. I've got a Tony Gwynn signed bat, and I had him sign it and paid for it. I don't know, in the 90s. He was at a show, And what I paid for the bat and the autograph is basically what the bat's worth now. It's like $350. You can go get a Tony Gwynn bat for like $350.
Okay,
So,
not game used, not one
not
that
game,
he's
not
won.
game used,
Oh,
just
okay.
autographed bat. So,
Yeah.
no, if it was game used, that'd be cool as heck, you know. And I love
that to
Tony
me
Gwynn.
is
You
like-
brought up that Griffey wasn't your guy back then. He wasn't mine either. My guy was obviously Frank Thomas, and then Tony Gwynn was my other guy. I love Tony Gwynn. So,
Tony Gwynn is awesome. Yep.
yeah. We haven't shown this guy at all, and if we're gonna close it out soon, I'm gonna wrap it up with him. Why did he wear 24, guys? Sammy, you know, right?
Godfather.
His godfather wore 24, so you got to show him. Again, it's another franchise record. The cool thing is on the back of this is franchise record for home runs with the Giants, and right underneath him was Willie Mays, and then Mel Ott.
Really cool.
It's cool. And then I wasn't certain, and there's a lot of Pirates fans out there. Did he wear 24 with the Pirates? I don't think he did. He?
I think he wore 24 with the Pirates.
Okay, so I brought out that card because I'm like, oh, should I bring this out? I knew he wore it for the Giants. I wasn't certain if he wore it for the Pirates.
I think he did.
Because didn't Bobby Bonilla have 24 too, or was he 24 with the Mets?
Well, the chat will confirm or deny it. Let me. I want to. I'm not. Let's see.
I thought Bonilla was 24 at some point in time as well. I just don't
Maybe
remember.
he was 25. I'm looking it up. So now curiosity killed the cat. I have to know. He was 24 he was 7-24 with the Pirates.
Okay, there's Mookie. Started with 7 for the Pirates,
Yeah,
and then
we're
24.
Yeah, there you go. Bonilla was 25.
Okay, so I'm mixing up numbers.
Who's this player?
Oh, that thing's expensive. That card is expensive, Rick.
Rick's trying to hawk that thing again. He's taking
I'm actually selling it.
Yeah,
that's sent it out yet.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's I don't know who it is, but it says it's there.
Johnny Ray.
Johnny Ray. That's right.
Johnny Ray.
Yeah. You get a good bundle for that, Rick. You'd be surprised. Have you looked up prices?
I bought it on eBay ungraded for like $300 and got it. It's a 5 because there's the white showing one side or the other here, right there.
Right.
But probably go. I'm guessing I'd probably make a $300 profit. Probably go about $600 or so.
Absolutely.
Crazy, huh? Because it's not. I mean,
crazy.
It's an air card. It's not rare. I mean, there's rare compared to, there's probably a couple hundred of them, graded between the different companies, But
to me, that's the kind of
quite
card
frankly, I don't even like that card.
I
don't even like the card.
Right.
I want Barry Bonds on it.
Right.
Yeah. But so it's just a novelty,
Novelty.
Kind of one you don't see every day, and
right. That's the card you would find at a garage sale. I feel like, right?
Totally.
Like you'd be flipping through and be like, no one would know what it is, and
no one would know,
right?
And yeah, exactly.
Grab it and go
They
kill.
sell those. They sell those opening days in a box, I think, right? Like a cellophane box, and you punch it in and get all the cards out of there. I've seen them at like flea markets from time to time.
Right.
They sell for like $20 usually, but it's probably one of those things. It's like a needle in a haystack sort of card.
Yep.
So that's pretty cool.
All right, what do we got? Did you say you have one more, Dylan?
Oh, I just brought one more random one.
We'll finish off.
Griffey. 1998 Topps Chrome Flashback Finest, one of the greatest shining baseball cards
That's a great card.
I've ever held, and there's shine on both sides. And it has all the bells and whistles. You can get a Tony Gwynn in this, Jason. I have one refractor raw for like $4.
Really?
It's really, oh yeah. And then a card like this, I don't know how much this is, but it ain't $4. Probably 50 to 100 or something.
Right.
This.
Right.
And the Tony Gwynn, I have one. It would cost me like $4.
What is it? 98 Finest, Dylan?
98 Topps Chrome.
No, okay.
Refractor and flashback refractor. It'll blow your mind. Nate, Topps 85401 used to show these, the double-sided, and having them in hand, they just blow your mind.
That's cool.
That's my last card.
Cool. Awesome card, because now I'm going to be looking those up as soon as we're done here.
Rick's digging for more.
No, I'm okay. I'm good.
Yeah. Well, this has been enlightening to see some cards that we've seen before, but some cards we haven't seen before, and it's always great to kind of get you guys to get you guys here to get Rick and Dylan, obviously superstars in our community. So if I was Scott, that's what I'd be saying.
I got to point it out. I'm the only non-Hall of Famer on this stage right now.
Well, you'll get there. You'll get there.
I doubt that. That's all right.
I got in when they Mike had his rules, so it was a lot easier back
right.
then. 10 channels got in, that type of thing. So you only had to be on YouTube one year making videos. So,
I'd have been eligible then.
Yeah.
But thank you guys so much for jumping on tonight. I appreciate you guys taking the time. I know being on the far West Coast or the West Coast, it can be a little difficult with the time zones. But thank you guys so much for jumping on.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Thanks, man.
Thanks, guys.
And next week we're gonna have. I didn't tell you this, Jason, but I don't know if you know Corey from True Card Adventures. He has an Instagram page, and hopefully I don't butcher the player's name, but is it Gilliam or Gilliam? I always mess up
Jim Gilliam.
Gilliam.
I met Corey with you. At the National.
So we're gonna bring Corey on because I think it's just a unique story of him being related to Gilliam, and he exclusively collects Gilliam cards. And I think he'd be a great guest because I don't think I know anybody else in our collecting world that's related to a really a solid major league player like him. So
I can't wait for that. That'll be
sick. We're gonna have him on.
Always collected his cards.
And he's like super energetic. He loves what he's doing. Yeah, you and him and I rapped for about 20 minutes or so.
Yeah, solid guy. But
yeah,
we'll have him on next week. We can also bring in, we might bring in one other guest as well. So we'll talk off the air. But again, thank you guys so much. We'll see you next week, and have a great night, everybody.
Thanks, everyone.